So walking my dog, singing my song, strolling along. It's just me and my dog, catching some sun. We can't go wrong. 'Cause I don't care about your head and your dog, and I don't care what the politicians spout. If you need a companion, why just go out by the pound and find yourself a hound and make that dog get proud. 'Cause that's what it's all.
Hi, I'm Mary Catalano. This is Rescue Roundtable, and today we're going to talk about wabbits. We are going to talk about wabbits, and we have a wabbit expert. My guest today is Viji Shook, who is a volunteer with LA Animal Services, who helps take care of the rabbits and helps get them adopted from the pounds, and has so much knowledge about rabbits that people have no idea what's going on with the rabbits. Welcome, Viji, and welcome. Who do you have here today with us?
I have Elliot. Elliot is from the South Central Shelter. He's my foster bunny. He's about a year old, around 8 pounds, fully grown, and he's a mixed breed.
He's a mixed breed, okay.
He's a mixed breed of all sorts of different types of rabbits.
How many different kinds of rabbits? I mean, there's a lot of rabbits.
There's
like
33 different breeds that are recognized here in the United States. Rabbits originally came from Europe. Like, you're not going to find rabbits that look like Elliot out in the wild. There's actually hares and cottontails are the only ones in the U.S. that are out in the wild. They're native to America. All of these guys that you see at pet stores and at rescue groups or in the shelters are actually those that came from Europe way, way back, about 100 years ago.
How did you get involved with rabbits, Viji?
I sort of fell into it. Our neighbor had a rabbit. He couldn't take care of it. And
when you were a child? Or
no, probably about 9 years ago.
Okay.
As a grown-up, about 9 years ago. And he was going to take it to the pound. And we're like, I'm not too sure if that's the best place for him. So we decided to take him in. And we still have him. He's 10 years old, at least 10 years old now, because we didn't know that his age when we first got him.
How long do rabbits live?
Their average age is 10 to 12.
Now, you're talking about a rabbit that is owned by a person that takes care of it. You're not talking about a rabbit in the wild.
Rabbits in the wild, of course, they're prey animals. And you always have to think of rabbits in terms of being a prey animal. And that's really how you need to adjust your behavior to them, because they're scared of a lot of different things. Things moving, people are very tall, little children are very active, tend to poke and prod and rush at them. They don't know what's coming at them. Rabbits also have poor frontal vision, so they really can't see what's in front of them very clearly, so they tend to bob their heads left and right to get a better view. So it's always a good idea to approach a rabbit from the sides so they have a clear idea of what's heading towards them.
And now tell us why you got involved, because you talked to this rabbit, so you just learned as you got the rabbit.
Yeah, and we made, well, actually, we made all the mistakes that we tell people these days not to do. Because we did what most people did, is we get a cage, put them in a cage, we went to the pet store and found nice fancy pellets with green stuff in them, seeds, and just pretty things in there. It was kind of expensive, so we thought we were doing the right thing, getting the most expensive feed from the pet store. And then within probably like 7 months, he got really sick, and we took him to our vet, who's an exotic vet, because we have birds too. And the first thing he said to us is like, what are you feeding him, and where is he staying, how much exercise? And we told him, limited, because he lives in a cage, and lots of pellets, a lot of water, greens every now and then. He's like, what are you trying to do? You're trying to kill the rabbit? We're like, what?
Uh-oh.
No, we're really great. Animal lovers.
We love animals.
Never do that.
Help us.
And the big mistake that we did was we didn't feed them hay, which should be their primary diet.
So that's what we have here on our table.
Yeah, and this isn't straw. Straw is the bottom part of hay that's used for bedding for large animals.
Okay, so this looks like the top because it has
horses
growth on
eat hay. Matter of fact, we get our hay from Red Barn, which sells, horses. We get bales of hay.
Is it the same
this
hay
is oat.
for horses as rabbits?
As rabbits, exactly.
And you used a word before, herbivore, which is Mary. Is that how I pronounce it?
Yeah, herbivore.
So who's the herbivore? A rabbit?
Yeah.
That means
they don't eat meat. They eat primarily grasses and hay.
Okay. So now this is nice, delicious looking stuff, and Elliot's and now tell us something. Oh, he's going to have a little snack now.
Yeah.
Elliot, he's going to have some. Go.
Yeah.
Oh, demonstrate, Elliot. Oh, look at that cute boy.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Like humans, they need fiber, but herbivores need more fiber because their intestines has to be constantly moving at all times. If they shut down, they could die within 3 days.
Oh my God.
So a bunny that's not eating or doing something else, pooping, is probably going to die in 3 days.
So now first of all, who should not have a rabbit? I mean, who would you like to adopt a rabbit to?
Rabbits,
it's up to you, because people are they're very gorgeous and pretty, very cute at Easter.
Yeah,
but what a big
cuddly
mistake.
looking.
And they are not good to mix with each other. I mean, tell us, tell the people, don't get a rabbit if this person, you know,
right,
do get a rabbit, because this is really, these are very delicate creatures.
Right, and they have a very delicate spinal cord that can easily be broken, and that's why we recommend that little children do not handle rabbits unless they're supervised by an adult, and the adult shows them. You have to be very careful when lifting a rabbit. You need to make sure their back end is supported so they don't twist their spinal cord area, again, which is very sensitive. And if the spinal cord gets twisted or the back gets broken, really, unless you're willing to pay $10,000 for surgery, it's euthanasia. You know,
so we're talking about, it's not a good idea for people to get rabbits for their children as pets, because children are not capable of really caring for a rabbit in the proper way unless they're absolutely supervised.
Right.
And
so
I think
the parents
it's really
have to take an
disgrace.
active role. Yeah, a very active role in caring for the rabbits. And they're not low maintenance pets. You know, you just can't throw a carrot at them and run away.
Right.
Also, they need to be kept indoors.
And look, he's washing his little face.
Yeah, he grooms just like a cat. If there's any animal that rabbits are similar to, it's cats. As a matter of fact, indoor cats and rabbits get along really good. Most people who fall into rabbits had a cat that didn't get along with another cat, but was lonely. So,
and they get along with cats.
So they get along with a rabbit. So they bonded in with a rabbit, sort of an interspecies thing
that's great.
Tends to get well. But again, it depends on the personality of the cat. And also, if the cat is outdoors, they tend to have more predator instincts. And keep in mind, like I said before, rabbits are prey animals. So you always have to remember that. They shouldn't really be kept outdoors at all. There's just far too much danger out there. Rabbits, believe it or not, can scare themselves to death.
I've heard this before.
Predator,
I've heard this before. I can scare myself to death when I look in the mirror sometimes. But seriously, so folks really, you know, not outside. They're not outside pets. They're not for outside.
They're
not
indoors, because
for
raccoons, you know, they're pretty dexterous with their hands, with their paws, can really go into a cage and grab them. And again, rabbits, if they see a predator out there,
will be scared.
Scared. Hawks, people let their rabbits roam out in their backyard. Hawks can take a rabbit quite easily. In seconds, and then it's over with. Once it's in flight, you can't get the animal back, and it's not a pleasant way to die. There's also poisonous plants. They tend to get fleas, just like the same things that cats get when they roam around outside. Rabbits do, the diseases and everything. Also, dogs can stray in from other people's backyards.
Do dogs, now my dog would chase rabbits because she chases kitties if they're not her kitties.
Right. See, the dogs, you have to be very careful of bonding dogs and rabbits. Because again, you've got a predator and a prey animal. Right. But I do have friends who have dogs that get along great with their rabbits.
What size dogs?
One of them is small. The other one is quite large. But they're older dogs. They're very mellow.
And they've been acclimated to each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, first of all, the most important thing, of course, is anybody getting a rabbit is spaying and neutering.
Absolutely.
And there are major reasons for spaying and neutering, besides the fact that, you know, they always say bunnies multiply very quickly. But what else? It's an absolute has to do with
let me
behavior.
Just talk a little bit about
explain to me.
Okay,
Tell
a little
us
bit about birth control, population control here, because rabbits do breed like rabbits. Every 31 days, 28 to 31 days, they can give birth. The female can get pregnant the day she gives birth. So you count it 28, 31 days continuously. And there is no season like kitten season, dog season. You know,
it's all the time.
It's all the time. It's nonstop. Again, keep in mind they're prey animals, and in the wild, that's how prey animals survive. By sheer number.
Right, okay.
So that's what's happening. So, and the litters run from 3 early on to about 12. They tend to have smaller litters in the very beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How late can they have litters as far as age-wise? I mean, do they have
I think, you know, probably until like 6, 7, probably even longer than that. Yeah. They're very efficient for having little babies. But another really critical reason to have your bunnies spayed and neutered, especially for the females having them spayed, is they have a tendency to get uterine cancer.
Really? I mean, really seriously. We talk about dogs and cats getting that, but rabbits...
and they get it at a very young age. It usually starts to show up at 9 to 1 years. So you need to get them, you know, spayed as soon as possible. I know people who've gotten their rabbits spayed at like 2 years old, and when they removed the uterus, it was just totally cancerous.
Wow.
So they had to go in and really do a cleanup there, and there's always a chance that the cancer had spread, you know, just like humans. So for females,
why is there such a high
definitely.
tendency? Is it because of it environmentally that they're more susceptible, or because they're so delicate, or what? What I mean,
You know, I don't really know the answer to that. It's just that there's been their makeup is just a preponderance of them getting uterine cancer, especially if they're not breeding. They see that in rabbits that are not breeding, continually breeding. If they're continually breeding, the occurrence doesn't happen as much.
oh Lord, that's just
Yeah.
outrageous. So now, how do you, when you have rabbits, people would think, oh, they want to have playmates or company. What is the big problem? What is the big misconception about, or how do you acclimate rabbits to each other so they can be companions?
Okay, rabbits are very social animals, you
Okay.
know. They do like to be with other rabbits and other animals and with humans. You know, they live in large warrens in the wild, but there's something that's very important that you need to know about rabbits is they have a very hierarchical society. There's always somebody at the top and there's always someone at the bottom, and everyone has a role in between. And the way they determine that is actually, in some ways, a little bit violent. They tend to fight to see who's going to be the dominant and who's going to be the passive one. So whenever you introduce a rabbit to another rabbit, you need to do it in a neutral territory. And they have to be spayed and neutered, otherwise it gets really out of control.
Okay, so let's say, would it be harder to introduce a male and a female? I mean, of course, they would probably want to get together. I mean, okay,
A neutered male and a neutered female is the best.
That's the
combo.
best. Okay, great.
The worst combo that I've seen are female, both, even
Okay.
being spayed.
Even spayed.
Even
okay.
spayed. And the next is male, even being neutered.
Okay.
But they do get along. So it's a slow introduction, and there's actually different methods you can use to introduce rabbits to each other. I've got 2 bonded pairs, but my 2 bonded pairs don't get along with each other. Luckily, we can split our house in half because war will break out if they ever meet.
Oh, you're really?
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
Okay.
and size doesn't matter. Our 10-year-old who's like 5
Hey,
pounds.
what are you talking? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Rabbit size doesn't matter. Our 10-year-old who's
Couldn't
5
help that one. Okay.
who's 5 pounds will beat up our 12-pounder. So, and our
Really?
12-pounder is scared to death of our 5-pounder. And even though he's 10 years old, and our 12-pounder is 4 years old, I mean, he's still a youngster.
Okay. So now, when you have, so you want to get them spayed and neutered, and apparently it's not that easy to tell which sex a rabbit is, because apparently, I mean, I've been at the pound where somebody tried to show me, and it's quite a
Yeah,
quite an
you can't
interesting-
do this little feeling thing back
Yeah, there's
here,
not
looking for something. You actually have to flip him over and press down and kind of see what comes out. It's
Okay.
very important that, you know, don't take it for granted when the pet store guy says, oh no, this is a male and female, and takes 2 little babies
Right.
out, because there's no guarantee. Go to a vet. Young bunnies are very hard to sex. Personally, I won't sex a bunny that's under 2 months old.
Okay.
So, I mean, to me, it's a 50-50 chance of what I'm looking at.
Really? And you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah, and I kind of have a feeling. And some people are really good at them. You know, some of the rescues are really good at doing the younger ones. For me, I can't really tell the nuances
Mm-hmm.
there. But always go to a vet, and you really need to make sure you go to a vet that's trained in rabbits. Medical schools, for the longest time, never really trained vets in rabbit care as animal companions. They were mostly for food,
Right.
for breeding.
You know, there's
so
a
they
vet-
know sexing wasn't a concern.
Right,
you know,
of
really.
course. Yeah,
Yeah.
I met a young man who's a vet now. He's doing companion animals, but he was started in Texas, and it was mostly the cattle industry, and that's who. And I thought, he said it was just really unpleasant. You know, that's who. he
Yeah,
was
it's
caring
livestock.
for.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's traditionally what veterinary schools were for livestock.
And I mean, altogether they were generally.
Yeah, generally, yeah. And if you look at them, the curriculum is changing,
Yeah.
but it's still the majority of the classes that you take when you go to vet school have to do with livestock. You know.
Unbelievable. And they don't give that much attention to rabbits. As the
No,
veterinary
not.
schools.
But now the bigger schools are doing that, and so a lot of the vets that we go to have learned by experience. They're really good. If you check any of the rabbit rescues in the Los Angeles area, they'll give you a listing of recommended rabbit vets. A lot of vets try to treat rabbits like they were cats. Even the anesthesia that you give an animal when you need to put them under for a spay-neuter surgery, you can't use the same ones that you use for a dog and cat. It'll actually kill a rabbit. So you have to
Really?
be very careful, yeah.
So it's more expensive to sterilize rabbits.
Right,
That's the problem that we're running into at the pounds, right?
Right. It's more expensive because it's a different type of anesthesia. And also, the insides of a female especially, it takes longer to take everything out when you do a spay.
Okay.
And you have to be very careful.
Are the
that
females more expensive to spay than the
Yes.
boys are to neuter?
Females, usually when you go to a low-cost spay-neuter, it's around $80. If you go to my vet charges $150
for a female.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know, a lot of people that would privately do their dogs and cats, that's about the same they'd be paying.
Right.
I mean, for a dog or a cat.
For a dog,
you know, the problem is that unfortunately there isn't a policy intact right now at the pound, right? So
right, they're working on it, so hopefully they'll have something.
They're trying to make it so there's like a coupon or something like that.
Yeah,
okay,
or you get it at a discount.
Let's say, okay, here's an example. I have 2 rabbits. I'm going to adopt 2 rabbits, and one's a male and one's a female, and I have a low budget. Which one am I going to sterilize?
Female first, absolutely, because a male can still impregnate a female up to 4 to 5 weeks from the surgery. It takes a while for everything to come out.
No kidding.
And I'm pretty sure it's with the dogs and cats too. I mean, it doesn't clear out everything.
Okay, wait. So the male. Oh, so if I was going to keep a female that was not, I get her spayed first.
Right.
And then now, if he's not sterilized, is he going to be coming after her all the time?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's going to become very hormonal. So you got to do
everybody.
Yeah, you need to do everybody. Yes.
Okay. I'm all for spay and neuter. That's my middle name. Oh, D-Sex in the City. Of course, we have a kitty featured. This is a wonderful.
Someday there's going to be a rabbit there on that button.
I should hope so. There was a dog and a cat, and they should put a rabbit.
Hopefully they're going to put a rabbit. Well,
this was made by Best Friends Animal Society, who are wonderful. They do, they do a lot. They get a lot of funding, and they do a lot of wonderful work. I love those guys. And so we have Elliot here, and Elliot has been neutered.
Right.
And Elliot is, how old is he again? He's 10.
He's over a year.
Oh, he's a year and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
So they can live to be up to 12 years, right? Right. And where do you want to keep the rabbits? What's going on with the rabbits? Where do you put the rabbits in your house? Tell the people where they need to put their rabbits.
Well, our rabbits are litter box trained, so they have free range of the house and the areas that they're allowed to be in.
Rabbits tricks are not for kids. Yeah. Rabbits can be litter box trained, and how is that really easy to do?
Yeah, because they have a tendency to go to the bathroom in one spot, and since they're prey animals, if you think about in the wild, if they went to the bathroom everywhere, predators would just know exactly where they're at.
Okay.
They go into one area. It's pretty much, unless the predator is lucky, happens to be around that area, they wouldn't be able to find them.
So they poop in the same place because
they poop and pee in the same place
because they don't want anybody to find them in the wild. I mean, they want to
right,
have
but they're used to that. They're already conditioned to doing that.
Yeah, but they're very clean too. So how long would it take for a person to litter box train their rabbit?
I would say about a week, because you want to find an area. What we recommend doing is, first of all, not keeping them in cages, because any animal kept in a cage, or even human in a cage, tends to have behavioral problems.
Right, of course.
Being locked into a small area and being confined.
Kind of like my apartment.
Yeah, you need to get out every now and then. We recommend a dog pen, which works out great. And it's also much easier to clean if you have
a dog pen.
A dog pen, an exercise pen.
Okay.
An X pen.
It's like a little. It's like a little baby. It's a.
Yeah, there's about
fence.
Yeah, there's about 6 panels.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that lock in, and some of them have doors.
Right.
You can get them for like $80 to $100 at pet stores.
I have one in my storage.
That's what he lives in right now. Mm-hmm. Since we have hardwood floors, in case he does have an accident.
Mm-hmm. But mostly he won't.
Yeah, mostly he doesn't. No, we put a plastic chair mat, like an office chair mat, and put a sheet on top of it. Put his litter box there, and all I have to do, twice a week is dump out his litter box, just like you would a cat,
Right. And I don't think it's as stinky as a cat, is it?
No, it's not, because they don't eat meat. That's,
okay.
When you start getting
they're little vegetarian.
Carnivores.
Little vegetarian.
Yeah,
are you a little vegetarian? Are you a vegetarian? Good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
It helps you to become vegetarian too, because our refrigerator's full of salad. Yes.
So now what do you get? So this is the main diet. This is
the main diet, and they should get 2 big handfuls a day.
Now where are you getting your hay?
We get our hay at Red Barn up in Tarzana,
Barn.
Which is they sell to a lot of the horse farms
for livestock.
And they actually deliver. We actually have bales delivered to our house.
I love that. Your neighbors must love that. Do you live in a house?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm sure
some people have water delivered.
Some
people have the water.
Bales of hay.
Viji has the bales of hay.
Because we put them on our driveway.
Pizza. Knock, knock. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. That's great.
And it's actually relatively cheap. And actually the SPCA in Santa Monica.
Yeah, they sell it, don't they?
They sell it for a garbage bag for $7, which is a huge garbage bag.
And that'll last you a really long time.
Like about 3 or 4 months.
So we're talking, I'm just going to just sort of reach down here really quick. This is just a regular, like a kitty box. Mm-hmm. With
newspaper.
You got your newspaper,
and
you
there's
got
Carefresh down there too as litter.
See, there you go.
See, Carefresh, it helps to absorb the smell.
What's Carefresh? What's Carefresh?
It's recycled newspaper. With
great.
Rabbits, you can't use cedar chips or anything. They tend to, inhale that, and those are full of chemicals and stuff.
Okay, so it's like recycled newspaper.
Recycle, yeah. Yesterday's news, Carefresh.
Great. And the newspaper in the fabulous calendar section of the LA Times.
And rabbits, You can use vinegar to pretty much clean up any mess that they have. Just
Really?
plain old white vinegar. We put it in a spray bottle. That's what I clean his litter box out with, and it works like magic. And as a matter of fact, the shelters now are using it too.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So now the rabbits will be running around your house, right?
Yes, they sleep on our bed at night. The thing is, you know, dogs bark, cats scratch, bunnies chew. That's their big drawback. So
what are you
need
chewing?
to be able to accept that behavior that bunnies will chew. So yeah, we do have some wood furniture that's been nicked, but we also give them things like apple twigs and cardboard boxes that they chew on.
What's apple twigs?
Apple twig, like apple tree twigs.
Okay.
We have an
Let me
apple
ask
tree
you
in our
something. Is
backyard.
there anything you could put on your, like, allegedly
that spray
furniture?
stuff?
Yeah.
That doesn't work for people. It doesn't seem to work. It doesn't distract them.
There's nothing called rabbit off?
No.
Get off of it, rabbit. Bunny away.
Like there's some rooms in our house
Bye,
that
bunny.
rabbits are not allowed in, like our office, because we've got a lot of wires.
Right, okay.
So you're just banned from the room. So the door is shut. And they try to sneak in there. That's what bunnies do. They're very mischievous.
Yeah. And do they like to play with each other?
They love to play with each other. They love to snuggle up with each other. They bond for life. And actually, our 10-year-old's mate died last year, and he actually grieved for her. It was just really sad to see that. He was pining away for her.
Aww.
And we got him a friend, someone from South Central, an older bunny.
A boy or a girl?
A girl.
A little girl.
Yeah, an older girl. Gets along with her pretty well, but you can tell that he told him this is his first love.
And how long was he with that bunny?
She died when she was 8, so 7 years.
Oh, Lordy, that's
Yeah.
a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, you were just telling me, we were talking about this before, how do you get them to bond? And this sounds like really like highway renegade,
There's all these processes.
Crazy nut drinking. It sounds like beer is involved.
Well, you know, it's a little tactic that's, you know, it's kind of odd. Bunnies, again, if they're introduced in a non-neutral territory, meaning that a rabbit has been there before and has marked it as his territory, they will fight tooth and nail to protect their territory. But if you introduce them in a non-neutral territory, and a car is a good non-neutral territory, because chances are your rabbits aren't hanging out in your car. Also, rabbits generally do not like car rides. They get very scared. They sort of like hunch up. They start breathing really fast. And
they can't reach the radio to change the station anyway, so what's the problem?
Actually, that's a good idea to put the radio on pretty loud.
Oh,
that's
that'll
also
really
distracting.
freak them out. Okay.
But if you have two rabbits, what I do to start the bonding
me.
process is to put them in the back of my car, and I have a hatchback, I have a wagon. Immediately start the car.
Is it a Volkswagen Rabbit?
No, it's not. But that's a good one. Mary.
Really? Is it a wabbit?
No,
is it a wabbit? Are you driving a wabbit? Okay.
No, but for some reason, rabbit rescuers shouldn't have Saturns. I don't know why. But
oh.
But they will gravitate toward each other when the car starts moving, and they have like a common enemy, the car. So that's one way to force them to get to know each other in a non, you know, in a
Are we
neutral
drinking when we're
environment.
doing this, Viji?
No.
Okay, she's not drinking.
No.
I tell you, it sounds like they thought of it when they were drinking.
No. Matter of fact,
Get to the car.
you know, there's a lot of the rabbit rescues do that. And I should mention there's
Are they wearing bunny seatbelts, or are they just having to crash into each other?
We just go in the neighborhood and we go around a lot of turns, so they're forced to slide to one
That
end.
just kills me, because it sounds silly as hell.
But it works. It breaks the ice, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And then they go into another neutral area in the house, and that's usually the bathtub.
You put them in the bathtub together.
They go in the bathtub together.
And you turn the water on, then they all forget.
No,
Okay, you don't put the water.
no.
Bubbles?
Actually, I have a spray bottle of water in case there's some serious fighting going on, because rabbits can be really nasty fighters if they don't like each other.
So first you take them for the crazy car ride.
Right.
The drunken, but you're not drunken, maybe it's simulated drunken driving like this with the car.
Well, you know, I just kind of take
Have you ever been
corners
pulled
a lot.
over when you're driving the bunnies around?
No, but I know someone who has. And they had to pull out their house rabbit handbook that gives us advice and show the cop that this is indeed, you know,
oh my God,
rabbit
that's
rescues
hilarious.
do. So
that
someone has
hilarious.
Because you tend to make a lot of curves, and I'm sure my neighbors are going, "She just passed the house like a minute ago. What is she doing?"
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay, so you're driving around. Okay, you got them you took them in the car. They puked in the car. No, they didn't puke. Okay, they were just like shook up. Then you take them in the bathtub, and then they puke. No, they don't puke. Then they get in the bathtub.
Rabbits can't puke. Okay, because you know how. Well, this is an important note.
I'm sorry they can't. What if they drink too much beer? They can't
you saw
puke?
them groove themselves just like cats do.
Yeah.
Which means technically probably hair is getting in there too.
Right.
And like cats get fur balls, so do rabbits.
Okay, what do they do
So
with
they
them?
can't. So everything has to go out, which means they need to eat lots of fiber to push everything out.
Okay.
So it's very
So
important.
nothing comes out this way, like fur
Right.
balls. Like my cats like to leave me little fur balls. They're a lot of fun.
You're shedding.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So after you put the crazy car right,
they go into the bathtub. This is my technique. People have different techniques.
Okay, and then they go in the how long are they in the bathtub for?
Well, usually, I mean, it doesn't happen all in one day. We take it in stages.
Oh, okay. So this is
like
not
a
just
week, 2-week process.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I do 5 days crazy car ride.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. You know, we're running out of time. I'm going to die. Okay, so, you're talking about like a couple of weeks worth of crazy driving and bonding and
it's not, leave them in there together and then see what happens. It could be dangerous. Sometimes there's love at first sight. Like our first set of bunnies, it was love at first sight. They saw each other, madly fell in love, and it was over,
And they couldn't even mate at the time, right? They just
they're both spayed and neutered, so.
Okay. Oh, man, I'm so sorry we're out of time. I want to, you know what? I hope you can come back because we haven't even started. We haven't even started with the bunny thing. We just right? Elliot?
You hit on the high spots.
Elliot's
Spay and neuter, keep them indoors. Free range is the best for rabbits, for any animals too. You see a different side of them when they're allowed to be free.
I think rabbits are beautiful and they're lovely, lovely pets. But you have to be smart about it. Please, if you want to get a rabbit, there's research you can do on the website.
Yeah, rabbit.org is a great website.
For rabbits.
Yeah.
So you can actually learn what you're doing so you don't make any mistakes and cause a serious injury or death to these lovely, beautiful animals. They'll be lovely in your house. Hi, Elliot. How about a snack? Have a snack. Oh, my God, he wants to have a snack. Have a snack, Elliot. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Rabbits. Willie.
Yeah, good boy, Elliot.
Good job.
He's out there the whole time.
What's with that nose?
Twitching. He's smelling stuff. What's going on? What's going on?
Is it twitching in the nose? Is it the smelling?
Or his whiskers are...
It's just me and my dog catching some sun.